Our project at North Steyne, it's an apartment on Manly Beach, quite a large apartment, and the brief from the client was to just completely revamp it. It's very kind of 80s style, and they just wanted a complete new look for it. So everything from the flooring up, the whole thing's been gutted. We're doing all the interiors, so just a complete transformation of the apartment. And they actually live overseas, and they'll come back and kind of see the big reveal, which is nice. In terms of flooring for North Steyne, it's a tricky one because we're really limited, being an existing apartment building, by the height. So we couldn't choose a flooring that was too thick, or it's just going to reduce us to a ceiling height that's not acceptable under building code. So we had to bear that in mind, whilst at the same time wanting to achieve a really high quality look for the project. And the other factor was the client was on a reasonably tight budget. You know, they didn't want to spend a crazy amount on flooring, and they had quite a big quantity of it. So trying to kind of play all those factors together and come up with the right flooring, we found that Havwoods was the only brand that could deliver us a really beautiful look, yet in not too thick a base, so that we were then going to have issues, and also achieve this really high quality look at the end of it all. So quite a tricky brief really, and we were able to find the exact right product at Havwoods. We used Pallido for this apartment, and we decided to do it in the herringbone to give the apartment this real sense of quality and difference, I guess. And the client loved the idea that it would just lift it above being the standard plank look. It was excellent working with Havwoods because we were able to combine the plank on the stairs in the apartment with the herringbone throughout the rest of the apartment, because obviously the herringbone doesn't work on the stairs, and then you don't want to be using a different product. So we're able to use the exact same, and it all just blends seamlessly. It looks beautiful. Why did we pick Pallido? We were after a real coastal look for this apartment. It's right on the ocean. So we needed something that felt very fresh and very light. Being an apartment building, you know, we are limited. Obviously, you're limited with the number of windows down the sides, so you can tend to get darker areas. And Pallido gives it that beautiful, fresh, light, open feeling, but then done in the herringbone, just that sense of sophistication and a bit of wow factor when you walk in. Pallido is quite unique in that it's so well priced, and you know, the client being such a big redesign, he needed to be very careful about budget on every item we chose. You know, as always, I explained to him that flooring is so important, and you've got to invest in it, but we're on a bit of a limited budget. So Pallido was brilliant, and it enabled us to get this really high-end look, but at such a good price per square metre. I mean, the client was actually so pleasantly surprised with the look he's got at that price. Was such a winner. One of the things that's really important when we're selecting flooring is that we're thinking about the whole interior in terms of how all the different textures are going to work together. And as you know, in Australia, timber is such an important element of most interiors. It's very popular, and we're trying to work through how's the timber flooring going to work with the elements in the joinery that might be timber, and then also the timber furniture that may be in there as well. So you've got a lot of different timbers potentially at play in the same space. So one of the things that's amazing about Havwoods is having that great range, and maybe even within a colour palette, having so many options to choose from. It really helps you to get that whole mix right, so that you've got contrast between the timber elements, so it doesn't all look manufactured, but you're able to get that just right, you know, and not have, I guess, textures that are too close, and then it just doesn't quite work. So having that big range really enables us to get that whole mix and that final look completely right.